the wife's new car in today. Going to be fitting the Tarmac Sportz Facelift GT style front splitter. Looks a nice piece of kit, so follow us in the video while we fit it. First thing we need to do is to remove 10mm bolts underneath, and need to remove this little lip that Nissan put on the bottom. As you can see, it's been raining. So now that bit's removed, we can lower the vehicle down and try the splitter up against the car. Okay, so first test, we've just got it around one corner. Just having a look to see how it's going to fit. Seems a really snug fit. Goes up underneath well. So we'll be screwing that on in a sec. You can either bond it here, or like I do, I put a screw in either corner. Just makes it easier to take on and off, and then you have the screw into the back here. So let's get a screw in somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to put pilot hole through on the edge, tuck the edge piece round the corner of the bumper. I've got it lined up about 5mm down from the bottom of the lights, so I think that looks best. So now I'll just put one screw through there. Always good to have another pair of hands to hold this on while you're doing it. I've got George here helping me today. Okay, that's not a bad fit at all. That really does fit well. You can heat them up a bit, or you can add a little bit of seal in later if you need it, but it's a pretty good fit. So over to the other side. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a screw either side at the bottom. Just going to marker it up. What I like to do is just make sure it pulls out. You can see it flexes back nicely. There we go. As I said earlier, I like to screw these on. You can bond them down, but I'm going to put some screws in for this one. So it's a case of in the corner as close as I can get. Pilot hold in, and now we'll put a screw in. As you can see, that really pinches it into place. Not a lot of movement there. We'll be putting another screw in the bottom as well on the ends once we've got all the rest done. So now we'll put one in the other side. Now this splitter is going to benefit from a couple of screws up underneath as well. So we'll do that in a sec. But the beauty of these being made out of polyurethane, they do have a little bit of flex in them. So it's not like working with fiberglass. So up underneath, I always like to put a couple of screws up into the bottom of the bumper where we took the trim off originally. So I'm going to put one up under here. It gives it extra support, and it just ties these up underneath. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple of screws up in there. I've added several screws. I've added 10, 12 screws underneath just to hold it up. I just like it to look right as it's going down the road. I don't want to see anything hanging downwards. So I've put a couple of extra screws across the bottom. It's pretty tight now. I've refitted the under tray into the original holes. Left the Nissan piece of plastic off. So it's pretty tight. And it's taken us about 40 minutes to do. So we'll lower it down and get some shots for you. Okay, all finished. As you can see, really nice fit. It's got some real nice curves. A nice lift in the front here. This is what you get with the GT splitter. I'm really pleased with the finish. I'm really pleased how it looks. It really enhances the vehicle in my opinion. There we go. Time for razzmatazz.